Hey everybody, it's your old pal Robert from ThrillRide.com. How you doing? So today I'm down in Long Beach on a beautiful, warm, sunny day, and I'm at a place called Looff's Lite-A-Line. If you've never heard of this kind of arcade game, you're in good company, because I just discovered it very recently myself, and it's a combination of pinball and bingo. But what really makes this location special is it has a lot of connections to deep amusement park history, especially here in Southern California, and what was once known as the Pike, an amusement park down here right next to the Queen Mary, and that once featured an infamous roller coaster called the Cyclone Racer. And we're gonna go inside and take a look around, because apparently, along with the games of skill inside, there's a museum of artifacts from this period in history. A lot of cool stuff to talk about down here. So let's go check it out. So for anybody who's familiar with the history of the carousel, Charles Looff is a name you've probably heard before. He's a German who came to this country in the late 1800s, famous for handcrafting many beautiful ornate carousels and many other kinds of amusement rides. And he was the one who brought the first carousel to Coney Island in 1876. But he did eventually make it out west to California, and was part of the growing amusement boom at the turn of the century here as well. So after the Red Line connected Los Angeles to Long Beach back in 1902, I believe, developers saw an opportunity to start building amusements that would entice people to come down and take a dip in the ocean here. And Charles Drake, I believe that's his name, in 1902 built the first big bathhouse here in Long Beach called the Plunge. That became very popular, and over time more and more amusements were added, shooting galleries, ballrooms, that sort of thing. And eventually a promenade was built, festooned with Edison lights, and became known as the Walk of 1,000 Lights. But locals eventually began calling it the Pike. And this name kind of stuck with the amusement center, as its official name changed several times over the years. But the Pike grew and grew, and eventually Charles Looff came out here, and he built a carousel for this growing amusement center as well. Love this phone booth, that's really cute. And it's only temporary out of order. So anyway, as the Pike continued to grow, and eventually a real thrill ride was added, the Jackrabbit roller coaster, some other good items, and it became known as one of the biggest amusement centers in the nation. I think it was ranked as the 5th largest at one point. So it was quite a sprawling complex. And in the 1940s, a fire destroyed the Looff carousel. But in the interim, he'd invented this new kind of game called Lite-A-Line, which is again a combination of bingo and pinball. And so he built an arcade with a Lite-A-Line complex here in the Pike. And that, I think, opened again in 1941. So by the time I came along in the early 60s, the Pike was really kind of run down, seedy, not considered a safe place to bring families. They tried to kind of revive it at one point, adding kiddie rides and stuff and calling it the New Pike, and make it seem like a much more family-friendly destination, but didn't pan out in the long run. At one point, the Pike was host to the Cyclone Racer, an epically huge twin-track roller coaster that I believe Harry Traver was involved in either the design and or construction of. And that was quite popular in its heyday, but eventually, I think it was in 1968, it was torn down, and gradually the Pike sort of fell into disrepair, and I think by the late 70s it was closed permanently. And at that time, the Lite-A-Line games were kind of archived and saved, and then eventually moved to this new location, not too many blocks away from where the Pike originally operated, I think in 2000. So a lot of history here, and I'm just very excited to go in and see what kind of relics from the Pike they have to offer. Right inside the front door, a bunch of archive photos, really cool neon. And here in the central part of the building is the bank of machinery for the Lite-A-Line games. But sure enough, there's a little mini carousel museum. They got a bumper car, and Looks like some vending machines over there on the far wall. Very cool. All right, let's dig into this. So this backlit kind of infographic shows what the Pike property looks like today versus what it looked like back when it was a thriving entertainment establishment. Yeah, you can see pretty impressive in scope with the big old Cyclone racer there on the left and the big kind of major amusement section, parking lot on the right. Yeah. Oh, so sorry we don't have this anymore. Not sure what the vintage of this photo is and which pier this is on, but you can see on the left is what looks like, I believe, one of the first suspended attraction types. I think it was called Brisbee's aerial coaster, something like that. But big spiral drop, I think, after climbing the lift. Yeah, I think it's what that is. Anyway, awesome photo. Oh, I love this. This is kind of an elevation drawing of the Cyclone racer. Yeah, if I could build a time machine. And of course there's tons of movies and TV shows that feature the Pike and the racer, including an episode of Charlie's Angels, an apparently epically terrible horror movie called The Incredibly Strange People Who Stopped Living and Became Mixed Up Zombies. Something like that. But yeah, these old photos kind of show how popular it was. A lot of beach activity and several roller coasters over its tenure. So yeah, it was a real part of Southern California history. Oh yeah, there's another nice shot of the Cyclone racer. Beautiful structure. So at this carousel museum, it looks like we're seeing some of the tools of the trade that the Looff artisans used to carve and decorate the horses with all kinds of wood tools, paintbrushes, little faux crystals to embed in the wood. And a little hard to see in the dark, but I presume that is Charles Looff himself and his wife, perhaps? Here's Charles I.D. Looff's 1888 wood carving bench. On this bench in 1898, he carved the two centaur figures located next to the cashier's booth. Ah, cool. And yeah, here's some more of the tools and workbenches that were used in the fabrication of the various amusement rides that the Looff Amusement Company produced. Oh, cool. Okay, and here we have this beautiful old roller coaster car mounted on a recreated set of wooden rails. And I don't know which coaster this came from. Could this have been a Cyclone racer car? I'm not sure. Or one of the Jackrabbit cars, perhaps? But I like this right in front of it. It's a great photo showing the sign for the old Looff's carousel, the entrance to the beach, and a bit of the Cyclone racer up there on the right. Oh yeah, and you can see all the way over to the right, there is another Looff Lite-A-Line entrance. One of the arcades down on the pier. Nice. I'm not entirely sure why this mannequin is standing here. Very stylishly dressed. But on several occasions now, I haven't been here that long, and I've been startled at least 3 or 4 times. Alright, here's another photo of a Lite-A-Line. It says Looff's Lite-A-Line 2000 at the corner of Cedar Avenue and the Walk of 1,000 Lights. Huh. Yeah, as I understand it, he built these Lite-A-Lines in many locations. I'm not quite sure how many were actually built down here in Long Beach. And another more contemporary bumper car. I wonder if this did ever operate at the Pike. It looks like something that could have been circa late 60s or 70s. And you can hear various times the bell signaling the start of a new game and the announcement of a winner. And there it is, a photo of the first carousel, not just at Coney Island, but in the United States. I had no idea, from 1876. When Charles Looff's first carousel started the family business of building carousels, roller coasters, and amusement parks throughout the United States. Awesome. I love these crazy figurines here. You got this kind of satyr on the left and this other woman on the right. Not quite sure what she's all about, but these are funhouse figures, hand carved in wood. by Charles Looff in 1900. Yeah, that's awesome. Fantastic. Love the vintage sign back there. So this wooden dowel fronted with a green neon tube may not look like much, but according to this sign, this is the original 1911 handrail from the Carousel building on the Pike. And the Looff family lived above the carousel. In later years, the apartment was converted into Looff's business offices. Sweet. There you go, Looff's Carousel, grand opening, Long Beach, Pike, 1911. Very cool. Oh yeah. And here are some black and white photos that chronicle some of the installation. Oh, and here's the original black and white photo that's on that poster. Nice. Oh wow, alright, it says here that the pillars in the foreground on the right are the pillars that lay below. Alright, we'll look for that. And then it says here, the carousel was moved out of the building in 1932 to make way for bingo, which in 1941 became Lite-A-Line. Alright. And then here is Looff's Lite-A-Line opening in the carousel building in 1941. Amazing. I have a vague recollection of seeing this kind of amusement device in casinos like this prior, but what it does or how it operates, I have no idea. And I love this old vault. That's got to weigh a few pounds. And I'm not sure I see the support pillars that they say are on the ground here. So in this glass display case here on the wall just after the entrance, all kinds of relics from the Pike heyday, including what I hope are old bricks from some of the original buildings. These look like metal shooting gallery targets, maybe. I'm gonna guess that was Popeye at some point. I love the old Pike tickets there in the back. I know pay one price and digital transactions are where it's going to be for the rest of our lives, but I kind of miss paper tickets. There's just something charming and old school about them that a lot of nostalgia for. Oh yeah, remember those shootout, this Red Star games? It always seemed like it was going to be super easy, but if there was even a microscopic remnant of red around the edge, you were a loser. It was so much harder than it looked. So the sign here says, this pick was lost in 1910 when these bricks were laid on the Pike. If you see the person who lost it, tell them it's here. And I presume the wood handle of the pick is long gone, but the metal business end is what's sitting there right next to Popeye's arm. A little hard to read because it's dark, but there is a piece of wood with a little metal plaque on it that reads, "This walk is the property of the Long Beach Bathhouse and Amusement Company. Permission to pass is revocable at any time." Gosh, I wonder if that dates back. I mean, that's got to be back in the early 1900s. So cool. So there's a free ride ticket, and this was from the era when the park was called Queen's Park, after the Queen Mary took up residence very close by. And that was another attempt to kind of upgrade the image of the park and make it more family friendly. And I love this sign, entrance to the Pike. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we're getting a fair amount of reflection here, but hopefully able to make some of these things out. Oh, these look like little carnival game dolls, and these little those little punks you gotta throw the balls at. Some kind of a wheel of fortune. Oh man, all kinds of stuff. Oh, here we go. And here's a very big old Pike sign with neon and big bulbs, and another super creepy clown. Yeah, that's good nightmare fuel. Oh yeah, Magruder's saltwater taffy, heck yeah. Before they could replace the Jackrabbit Racer with the Cyclone Racer, the city had to vote yes. A thank you to all Long Beach citizens of the day for the great decision. Yeah, amen to that. Oh, great, yeah. There's a sign back there, added revenue for your city. Vote Tuesday, July 15th. Vote yes. Yeah, there's a lot of little details in this display case. Kind of easy to miss if you don't look too careful. And this is another game I've never, ever, ever won. Tossing the wooden ring onto the soda bottle. Things just bounce around, land everywhere else except the top of the soda bottle. And it looks like some of these number boards for bingo-like games of chance. And a little gumball machine. Oh, a little like 3D Viewmaster kind of device. A voice-o-gram record. Wow. During the 1940s, a person could enter a booth, record a message or song, and give it to a loved one. Very nice. Huh. There are a bunch of Navy patches and shoulder tags. And of course, the Navy was a huge presence down here at the Pike. And tattoo parlors grew up significantly in this area because people in the Navy love their tattoos. And I believe here in Long Beach is a tattoo parlor, which is the oldest continually operating tattoo purveyor, and also has a little museum of Pike artifacts. And I have to get down there and check that out. Yeah, I just love the skee ball target. Very cool. All right, I just got a very nice tutorial how the game works, and it's pretty simple. Pull back the plunger, pinball style. The ball goes up, bounces around, picks a hole, comes down, and then shows me on my board what kind of a bingo. Oh, somebody's won. There you go. Nice. Oh, I won. How do you like that? I didn't even realize I was a winner. Right on. And I guess they're loading my card. That's nice. They show you what your credits are. I got a couple of free games to learn how it all works. And then it's $1.50 a play. So not that expensive to get in on the action. And again, depending on what kind of bingo you get, determines the amount of the payout. And I think they can get, you know, pretty high. Like up into $15, $25 maybe? Oh, come on. Yeah, but as a fan of pinball, I'm all about a little metal sphere and a plunger. But just to think that I'm playing a game that many people played back at the Pike back in the day, and created by one of the most famous amusement ride manufacturers of all time. It's kind of exciting. Peeking inside what looks like some kind of old operator booth. I'm not sure if this is even functional anymore since they've upgraded some of the electronics. And there goes a winner. Another great photo of the Lite-A-Line back at its original location. Lovely. Talking with the lovely people who run this amazing establishment. It's really a labor of love. This is not a money-making enterprise, and they do it, of course, because they want to keep the history alive. But please support this operation. If you're in the Long Beach area, come by and drop some coin. It's a beautiful little treasure trove, and the game is fun to play. Well, since Looff's is actually just a few miles away from where the Pike used to reside, I thought I'd come down and take a look. And here is a beautiful spot to check out the Queen Mary in the distance, and a couple of cruise ships that I'm sure have been idle for quite some time. But right along across the water here is a beautiful, I think it's called Shoreline Village. And the harbor that surrounds this area is called Rainbow Harbor, which is a bit of a shout out to more of the amusement history in this area. There used to be a pier, a rather unusual pier, that wasn't just a straight line that ended in the water. It made a U-turn and returned to the shore. And it was designed for automotive vehicles primarily. And because of its unusual shape, it was called the Rainbow Pier. So again, another little shout out to the past. And this is just walking back, facing what's now called the Pike outlets. And you can see there in the distance the faux roller coaster tracks that are part of the decor of the Cyclone Racer Scenic Bridge, I think it's called, or Cyclone Bridge, something like that. Another little hat tip to what used to stand here. And they got a Ferris wheel, a couple of other things, so it kind of has an amusement-y feeling zone. Oh, they have a little teeny carousel too. Yeah, so while not nearly the amusement park it once was, there's still some amusements to be had. If you walk along the shoreline, kind of boardwalk, and go all the way to, I believe, the north end, it kind of takes you out to this little extension of land where they have this beautiful grassy hill and a little lighthouse up there. I'm not sure if that's a functioning lighthouse or not. I would imagine so. There's also this lovely park over here, the Long Beach Navy Memorial, which pays tribute to the city's naval heritage. And the sign says here, Long Beach's naval history dates back to 1908 with the arrival of President Theodore Roosevelt's 16-ship Great White Fleet. By the 1920s, Long Beach established itself as a major naval installation on the West Coast, and for the next 8 decades it was home to sailors, shipbuilders, battleships, and aircraft carriers. Interesting. And it all came to a close in 1997. But yeah, it's nice honorifics here to remember that period, and of course tattoo parlors that were a part of that proud naval tradition. Yeah, it's really the Pike in name only, but at least the name still survives, so that's kind of a good thing. You can see they got one of those little jumpy things for kids. And back in the distance there again, you can see the top of the Queen Mary and the dome that used to house the Spruce Goose way back in the day. And there's just looking straight down the old roller coaster bridge. And there's the Ferris wheel. Not currently spinning, but I think it is operating tonight until past sunset at least, so yeah, we might get a spin on that too. There we go. Oh, what a tease. It sure does look like a coaster from a distance. So walking across the bridge, you look down and you can see the remnants of a bunch of people doing donuts at this intersection. That's pretty funny. I've heard several muscle cars kind of screaming down this boulevard, so I imagine car culture is living strong in Long Beach. Another little amusement attraction. That's very cute. Well, there you go. It may not be a classic Charles Looff, but it is a carousel, and the target audience is clearly enjoying it very much. Well, and here's one more little amusement attraction, swan boats on this little lagoon. That's pretty cool, and according to the signs, reservations are required, and they pretty much sold out for the day. Now it looks like they've closed for the day as well, but good to see these are quite popular. That's cute. So there it is on this helpful sign explaining what the Rainbow Lagoon was. You can see a picture, looks like some kind of an aerial picture of the Rainbow Pier, that big semicircular shape that enclosed a little section of water around around where the Pike was. Cool. All right, and yeah, this is the first Ferris wheel ride post-pandemic, so very exciting. Oh yeah, we're gonna get some nice views of the harbor. Look at that. Oh yeah, oh, this is fantastic. And going over the top, and then looking back over here towards kind of the hub of the outlets. Oh, the poor old Queen Mary. A lot of troubling things about its current condition. I hope it finds itself kind of brought back to not functional status, but certainly not on the verge of capsizing. It's funny, I feel like I've really gotten over the bulk of my fear of heights, but these moments when we're kind of perched near the top and gently swaying, yeah, still a little bit of a clencher, you might say. Yeah, if I won the lottery, I mean a really like Powerball big kind of a lottery, I would certainly look into seeing if they would accept another independent operator down here for amusements and just build a legit roller coaster down here. It's all this place needs. Well, okay, it may be a little dark ride. Just a little dark ride, and I think we could call this a proper Pike again. So we're not that far away. Not that far away. Fingers crossed. Oh man. And the smell of the sea air coming through the breeze. Glorious. Just love it. All right. I think that's going to bring this one to a close. So once more, as always, thank you so much for coming along. And I hope you enjoyed this look back at some of Southern California's amusement history and a little taste of the present. And enjoyed my best wishes for more to come in the future. Yeah, this is a very pleasant place to spend an afternoon. But yeah, like I said, roller coaster and a dark ride, that'd be enough for me. All right, so take care and we'll catch you in the next one. Well, look at this. I wasn't even trying to find it. I'm just pulling out of the Pike complex. Here it is. Outer Limits Tattoo and Museum, oldest operating tattoo parlor in America, established in 1927. Wow. Well, it's another one I'm gonna have to come back for, but now I know where to go.